I'm super stoked to show you my pin craft today. It's Ahsoka. She is an amazing character. She's really, really cool. And so I think that she's the perfect candidate for my pin crafts. And I want to let you know that on May the 4th, I'm going to have an exclusive May the 4th Star Wars type show on Whatnot with handmade Star Wars cards and Star Wars pin craft frames. I'm so excited about it. I can't even... This has like totally inspired me to do all kinds of stuff that I hadn't thought of before. So this is super fun. I'm super, super excited to show you. Today's craft is pretty cool because of the fact that it has, instead of it really focusing on a ton of techniques, it's actually really focusing on the quality of the products. And I think that really shows when I finish. And you'll see what I'm talking about. When I was designing it, I realized it had to be the quality of the products that made this kind of craft successful. And you'll see what I mean when I get into it. But I think that that was a really big factor. Now, not all the products that I have are available right now on FabulousStamper.com, but I will always post, you know, friends that might have those products available because they sell on Whatnot and they have a lot of retired products, and they might find what, you know, what it is that they might have what it is that you're looking for. Well, thanks so much, you guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, all the things. Don't forget to tune into Whatnot on Monday, May the 4th. You know, I just appreciate you guys being here, and you guys have a great day. Thanks. Bye. Hey guys, so today we're doing the Ahsoka pin. This just happens to be the first one that I did because I had an idea for her right away. And we'll just get started. They're always such cool. I love fig pins. They're just so cool. I think they're really cool. So the paper we're using today is all blues because even though Ahsoka is, you know, she just mainly has blue on her head, but I feel like she's always associated with dark blues. So the paper we're using today is called Oh Holy Night. It's actually paper from a Christmas paper. And again, I don't sell retired paper, but I'll go ahead and put on the screen my friends that have the paper available or may have the paper available. So here it's the night sky with the sand dunes. This is kind of pretty. And again, this is a big piece of like sand. It looks like sand, and there's, I think, a little bit of sky with it, a little sky. This is the page we're using. And the backside has these swaths of blue. And Bethlehem, you see, so the whole Oh Holy Night tied in here. And then, of course, the night sky. So a lot of the paper is just all associated with Bethlehem, but the blues are really what drew me to it. And this particular sheet, I'll zoom in close on the sheet we're using. So first we're going to be using a 5x7 of Night of Navy. Now, in order for my 5x7 to fit in my frame, I make it just a tiny bit shorter than 5x7, not even a 1/16 of an inch off. Just something really tiny just to make sure, because my frame is a little tricky sometimes. Then we're doing a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 of Misty Moonlight. And then this piece here. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see the texture. Remember how I was talking about the quality of the paper? Well, it's picking up pretty well on camera. You see that tiled texture on there? If this were just plain blue like this, I think it would be a little too boring. It needed to be dark blue, but it needed to also have some kind of texture on it in order to make sure that it was, I could have made it the night sky. I could have done a few different things, but I chose this little tiled look. But I think because it has that texture in it, it just adds a really nice element to this particular craft. And I think she's gonna look great on it. I can't wait. I haven't done a test run of her, so I'm excited to finally put her together. I just did some like ideas, you know what I mean? Sampling and cutting some pieces to see if they would work together and going from there. I think because this is so black, I think I'll make this my bottom. And then that way the light blues can be at the top. Oh, and with this piece of paper, before I go too far, this piece of paper was very tricky to cut because if I pull the piece out, you'll see. Sorry, didn't mean to hit the camera. So it's very dark around the edges of the paper and then very light in the middle. I personally liked the sections that were lighter in the middle. but all of the sections will work just fine. I'm just letting you know that to cut it, it wasn't difficult to cut the sizing, but this is where you just have to be aware of the placement of a pattern on your craft, because if I just went right here with this edge, I don't know, the side just doesn't look quite right. You know, it's a little dark. It doesn't look bad. It's just not maybe the best of what you wanted. Something to be aware of when you're crafting with pattern paper is just being aware of that spatial placement, so that that color placement, because that does affect the look of your craft in the end. So I can't wait to finish a lot of these crafts. I'm going to make a Mandalorian one after this. I finished with this Ahsoka one. I already made some Ewok cards, so that's pretty fun. So I'm excited about that, but I'll make a Mandalorian. I've got a couple of those, and I have some Boba Fett. I also have some smaller like Loungefly pins that I'm going to craft with. And so that's pretty neat. Get them all sorted here. Okay, let's get that even. Okay. All right, so we've got our basic placement here. And remember how I was talking about the quality of the paper? Well, the next thing I have is I went ahead and I printed out I am no Jedi, which is, I think, her most famous quote. I printed that out on cardstock, just white cardstock. And I cut it out with not the smallest flag, but the second smallest. These are called the Nested Essentials dies. And I've used them a variety of times with the fig pins. I know I used them with Jasmine. I think I also used them with Belle. So you can get those at fabulousstamper.com. So what we're going to be doing is, this is where I had to test some things out. So there's my label. Again, buy what you need at fabulousstamper.com. Anything that's not available, I'll let you know my friends might have it available. So this is called Glow in the Dark Specialty Paper. I bought it, I want to say like 2 years ago. I think I bought it 2 years ago. And I'm going to be making like rays of light behind Ahsoka, but with the glow in the dark paper. So like I told you, quality of products matter. And so this, I don't know many places that make glow in the dark paper. This was just 1 year they had glow in the dark paper, and I was so excited to get it. And it's nice cardstock too. It's not cheap. So now we have our Ahsoka. I still think she'll look good at the bottom like the princesses did. And we're getting our layout. And what I did was I just cut out some random, these are just white pieces. This is when I was testing my layout of what I wanted to do. And what I want to do is I want to have strips of glow in the dark paper like shooting behind her in a variety of ways, where it's not necessarily coming, but in this like ray form, you know, where it's, see how it's like angled to a point? We'll cut out some angled pieces and see what happens. So you see the vision of where I'm going, you know, I guess, now that I've shown you. So let's get our paper trimmer out. You can pick up a paper trimmer at fabulousstamper.com. I love this trimmer. I didn't think I'd love it so much, but I really do. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with just cutting an angle. This might be a little too wide, but we'll try it and see. Yeah, it's a little bit too wide, I think. I want it a little narrower. Let's try it. But maybe I can use this extra piece somewhere else. So yeah, I just wanted this piece to the side. And then I put the glowing side down because the glowing side is a little bit textured and rough. So let's get another angle out of this. Let's see. It's just nice and smooth cuts, you know? And again, if we need to trim this a little narrower, we can. I think that's probably a good length. And I want a few more that are really narrow. I just want a couple that are really narrow. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I like that one. I mean, look, it's super, super narrow. but it's wider at the edge than at the top. I really like that. And let's see, that's 4 pieces. I think that might be enough for now. I don't want them to be centered above her head. That was not really the goal. I did just want, like, I wanted the light to be naturally coming from all angles. There we go. Okay, I don't want it to be too contrived. I think 3 is good. We'll put them down and let's see what happens. Okay, and then this one. I guess maybe this one I can't put dimensionals on, so maybe this one will just have to be flat. But that's good because then that'll add dimension, a little bit of dimension. So this one will be flat across like that. And then this one I can put dimensionals on. I just have to trim it at the top. I have to trim an angle here at the bottom too. So let's trim that. We have to trim all of the edges a little bit, just a tiny bit. Most of them we can probably get away with. This one's a little bit too big to trim with just my eye. Let's see, let me make sure. See, I want it to go this way. So I need the cut to be I had to turn it right. I had to turn it right side up to keep my, all right. I think that's right. Yeah, okay, that's right. Okay, let's put this one down. So while we work on these other ones, let's go ahead and put this one down because I know I can fit dimensionals on these. I might have to make those other ones wider. As much as I want them narrow, they might have to be wider. Let's get that in the corner. I really want this in the corner. Okay, and then we're going to trim off. And so I'm going to put dimensionals on this. And we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. Oops, I think I put too many. All right, let's see. I want it right there, I think. So we can cut it right here. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and put a dimensional underneath here. And that way, when it's touching the flag, it's actually the same height. Oops, it's the same height. All right, there we go. Okay. Now, we were talking about how this one might just need to be glued straight down. And I think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna trim this corner. Because it's such a small area, I can totally do that. The key is we just have to make sure we get our glue, just be very delicate with your glue. Just barely touch the glue to it because you don't want it blobbing out. I don't know if I might need to put some more. Yeah, there's no glue there. Oh. So in order to make sure I'm just getting the glue on my project, on me, and not all over my project, I just got it all over my fingers there. Let's go ahead and tuck this under like I had wanted. And try not to press down. There we go. There we go. And whoops, the glue was right there at that spot. Okay, and then I had wanted this one to go across, but I barely got enough glue on this. Maybe. You know what? I'm going to do the same thing I did before with the other one. So we have to trim off the edge of this here. This is a little bit wonky. So we have to get this edge like that. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna put a dimensional underneath here. Same thing. I'm gonna cut a small one. Put a dimensional underneath the glow in the dark strip in the area I need it to be. Because we're gonna put it right like that. So it's pretty much butting right up against the other. There's another one underneath there that it's touching. Darn, this little piece though is not up, but I think we're just gonna have to make it work. I'm gonna put a little glue dot there in the corner, and that way I know that little piece won't move. There we go. Let's take one of these baby glue dots. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell these particular glue dots, but I have an Amazon storefront now, you guys. So you can buy these on my Amazon storefront. Fabulous Stamper Amazon storefront. Yeah, so I'm super stoked about that. I'm gonna try and link it. I just finished it this week, so. Okay, cool. So now let's put Ahsoka down and let's see what happens. Let's see how she looks. No, I think it needs more. We could do one like this, maybe. And I always tend to do things in odd numbers. So that one could be flat. And maybe the next one can be flat. Let me get one more. Oh, let's have it go from this side down over here. Oh, cool. And then this won't, we won't even have it go. Oh yeah, I like that. There we go. I just think this crisscross across the back just adds this fun element. I don't know, I can't explain it completely. I think that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that one there for a minute. Get some glue on the back of this. Oh, I got glue on everything. Darn it, I got glue on everything. That was not my plan. Darn, you see all that glue I got? Oh, that is such a bummer. That was not my plan. Hold on, let me cut this little piece off. I have a glue eraser. It'll be fine, but okay. And then we'll put glue and then tuck this one underneath this, like that. All right, let me get the glue on this edge. Let me just put a glue dot down here. My tweezers fell. Let me cut this clean edge. And then we'll put some glue. Hopefully it won't make as much a mess as I did on the other. Looks like I'm going to. Oh. I hope it doesn't mess up the glow in the dark part. No, I wanted to. But I want it over this. Okay. Okay, oh, I'm using, sorry, I should have told you what I was doing. I'm using a glue eraser to get that glue up because I had made it such a mess with the glue. The only problem is you have to be really careful on these delicate papers because luckily this isn't foil. So hopefully, yeah, because it's not foil, it's not leaving any marks. But sometimes when it's foil, it can leave a lot of marks and stuff. All right, so I think that's enough crisscrossing for her. So let me turn off the light so you guys can see how dark, how it glows. Let's see. I guess you can kind of see. It's actually glowing because, I mean, I've had the light on it right up on it. So it's glowing. It's kind of hard to tell in the video, but it is glowing. It's glow in the dark. You can see the green there. But yeah, so it's all glow in the dark, which I think really adds a cool element to it. The only thing I want to add is I just feel like she needs a little, oh, these might work. These are silver and blue tinsel gems. I was really wanting to use these because they're actually Night of Navy. Let me get my tools. Okay, let's try out a couple and see which ones we like. I just feel like it needs a little more dimension on that flat back. This one is not winning. I don't know. I don't think this one is winning. Hold on, let's see. And there's one more. And then I also have these rhinestones, but I think the rhinestones are a little bit too feminine. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think this is winning because it's the least like bright. This is Night of Navy, but for some reason, I don't know. It's definitely a statement. This one blends in quite a bit. Let me take one that has more sparkle. Nope, I don't like the sparkle. I think we're gonna go with that one because I don't want the little specks of silver that are in this one. And the rhinestone makes me think a little bit too much of princesses. So I need to trust my gut and go with some of these. All right, so we'll add those in a minute. And like, you know, having one or two here. on her label, you know what I mean? And then maybe another one up. I don't think I'll do a hidden Mickey on this. I don't think there's really a spot for it. But I think having a few of those sprinkled all throughout is gonna look good. We're gonna add some more gems, I think, some more. Having it on the label, I think, is good. It just adds, you know, when you add a couple things like this, it just adds this dimension to it that wasn't there by just adding that little layering. I could have added black, but I think this blue looks good, actually, more so than I expected. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Do I want to add 2 more? No, I think that's good. I think this is pretty sick. All right, let's get our frame. So we'll go ahead and we'll pop this in here, and then I want to put I need to put her in. So I forgot. Okay, so before I put her in the frame, I need to put her into some foam with a glue dot. So let's take the extra large glue dots. Again, also available in my Amazon storefront. I know I've said that a few times. It's just kind of exciting that I have my own storefront now, you know. And we're gonna go ahead and put the glue dots just on the base of the pin. And it's just to get it to where it's gonna keep it from flopping around in the frame, keep it from moving. I'm gonna take 2 and put 2. And I'm actually gonna put one right on the edge here. And there's one other thing, after I get her placed, I'm gonna see about putting one more. She looks so cool. I don't know, I kind of want to add like 2 more dots right there. Yeah. She looks pretty cool so far. Okay, let me push her down. You always want to push straight down because you don't want to bend your fig pen. All right. Oh, and good thing this is flat against, because so I'm wanting to make sure that glue is off before I press it down. There's some glue. Yep. There we go. I wouldn't be able to get to it with the, whoops, stay down. Oops, I picked up my embellishment. Okay, so I've got the glue dots in the back of Ahsoka. And then I'm gonna go ahead and press her straight down in. All right, there you go. I think she's in there nice and firm. Yeah, that looks so cool. All right, so the only thing I wanna do is I wanna put another glue dot, one of the large ones. We're gonna take another glue dot, one of the really large ones, and we're gonna go ahead and put a glue dot down in the corner here so it holds it against the little foam. But I'm also going to put one on the base of my post again here. Not on the base, I'm gonna put it on the actual pin, because I wanna know that this little girl is, I mean, she's not a girl, but you know what I mean. I feel weird calling Ahsoka a girl, but this little pin is not going to be moving. I need it to stay. I've only had one move in a frame, and I think it was a fluke. I think the mailman's just really, really rough with packages there. But still, nevertheless, you know what I mean? I want to make sure that whatever I'm selling is a quality product. Perfect. Perfect. And so that glue is now in the foam holding her. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, hopefully. So, as I've told you guys before in my other frames, once you touch this, just don't touch it anymore. Once you get your the plastic off of your plexiglass, you can go ahead and just put it in the frame and not mess with it. There's a little film on it. If you scratch your plexiglass frame, which sometimes happens because it's just plexiglass, their replacements for it are super cheap. I put those in my Amazon storefront too, because I have scratched them before and had to replace them. Okay, I think there's a cat hair that I got. I'm just gonna use a sticky note to pick up anything that I might have dropped in the hair. Yeah, just a little bit of dust and that one little cat hair. Which, you know, things happen when you're putting stuff together. Oh, and we gotta put our little box back in and put our Ahsoka in and close her up. And let's see. That looks sick. Looks so cool. A little dusty. I think the warehouse must have been dusty that was packaging these, because there's like a little bit of dust. But again, don't touch the plexiglass too much. I just use a sticky note to just get up any hairs or dust. Okay, so let's turn off the lights now that we've got her in it. Let's turn off all the light. Okay, oops, here's my black light. Oh, my black light is dying. I wonder if I can shut off the light. I was trying to shut out any darkness. It doesn't seem to be working too much, but... Oh yeah, there you go. You can see it glowing. You can still see the phone, but you see it glowing. Isn't that cool? I don't know. I just think that's so neat. I think that turned out so cool. So it worked. It worked. So it's better than I imagined. It's really cool. Really, really cool. So, well, thanks so much for watching, you guys. I appreciate you, and I hope you have an excellent day, and thanks so much. All right, bye.